Hi everyone. Well, today I wanted to speak about Tarot de Marseille. I thought of making quite a few short videos and making it like a series. I'm not a like world specialist in it, but I'm interested in it, and I'd love to hear from you also if you have any great resources that we can all go and read or take a look at. If you could share it in the comments, that would be lovely. Today I just want to introduce Tarot de Marseille and speak about how beautiful it actually is to me. So there were two pictorial traditions in Europe during the time when the first tarot decks were printed: Milanese tradition and Piedmontese tradition. And funny enough, Tarot de Marseille doesn't really refer to the place, Marseille, the French town, because Tarot de Marseille was printed in different towns, in Paris, in Lyon, in Avignon, and so on. It actually refers to the style of the pictures. And there are quite a few famous Tarot de Marseille decks which were printed, and I've got three which I will show you, but two of the older historical versions. There's Jean Noblet, which was printed in Paris in 1650. There's Jean Doodle, which was printed in Lyon in 1701, so like 50 years later. There's Jean-Pierre Payen, which was printed in Avignon in 1713, and also the most famous Nicolas Converse deck, which was printed in Marseille in 1760. Jacques Vieuville, another tarot deck printed around this time in Paris in 1650, belongs to Piedmontese tradition, and it has a totally different pictures. For example, the star doesn't have a woman on it, but like an astrologer or astronomer looking at the sky. So they just different styles of pictures. And we would ask why Nicolas Converse deck was the most popular. So the term Tarot de Marseille was actually used in 1930 by Paul Marteau, who actually claimed to be a restorer of the true Marseille deck of Nicolas Convert. But he didn't do a very good job, apparently, according to Jean Floneroy. I'm basing all my information on like his research, and his restoration of the Nicolas Converse deck wasn't very true to the original deck. But it became very famous because he was the head of the publishing house, the Grimaud publishing house. So the restored deck of Nicolas Convert became a very popular deck and the most famous deck because of the mass production, and it was easy to get. So the Paul Marteau's version of the Nicolas Converse deck, which wasn't very true, became the Tarot de Marseille deck. And he also started calling this type of decks Tarot de Marseille because Converse deck was printed in Marseille. So you can see the connotation here. And Jean Floneroy, who created three decks and put a lot of energy and work and research to provide us with a true, or the truest as possible version of the resource deck of Tarot de Marseille. So I wanted to show you the three decks. Two decks of Jean Floneroy, which I have, and one deck of Alejandro Jodorowsky and Camoin. Let's start with Noblet. Noblet is the oldest deck from 1650. These are the packs. The cards are smaller. They're kind of a little bit bigger maybe than poker size. And the colors are primary colors, as Tarot de Marseille decks usually are. But my version is the second edition from 2014, and I don't know, the body color is very pink to my eyes, so I don't know if it was supposed to be like this. Usually in Tarot de Marseille you find the creator of the deck or the publisher either on the Two of Cups or on Two of Coins, so we know that this is Jean Noblet. Let's take a look at the Queen of Wands with her little nipples. and beautiful golden hair. So the court cards and in general, the people in those two decks of Jean Floneroy are really amazing. They're very expressive and they have gorgeous eyes. I love this Queen of Pentacles. Look at her hand. She ain't letting that go. She's so focused on that coin. And of course, Tarot de Marseille are pip decks. So this is the wands, and notice how they mark number 4. So it's not 1 and 5 or 5 minus 1, but it's additional. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's cups, swords, and coins which don't have numbers on the cards. Maybe it was easy to count. And then there is Jean Doodle, which has backs like this. Amazing paper. This is my favorite deck of Tarot de Marseille, which I have, and I love using it. Very like silky, beautiful paper, and the cards are bigger. And also the, you know, the people are just so beautiful. The eyes. It's all about the eyes. And it's very easy to read when you use the open reading style. So when you look at the figure and you see, is she looking to the right? Is she looking to the left? What is she doing? What action is she actually performing? What about her hands? Is she sitting? Is she standing? Is she walking? You can read quite a lot from these cards just by looking at what the actual figure is doing and how they're behaving. And then of course there's the whole Christian mysticism which is woven into these French decks. This is the Queen of Wands as well. They're pretty weird in those two decks. Look at her, she looks so tired. Like, I don't know, like there is something in her chest and her inner fire is like leaking out. I'm not sure about her. Maybe the wand is too big. I don't know. There's Devil and the Star. Oh, there's a cool 9 of Swords with a blunt sword. Like your intellect needs a little bit of sharpening, so be aware. And what I wanted to show you next is the Podolski deck, which looks like this. And it's restored deck again. Podolski claims it's 1471, 1997, but it's hard to say because he actually combined quite a few different decks, and also he actually introduced a lot of new elements. He wanted to create a perfect tarot deck, so you know, he added new color like purple. You can see purple color here on the cap. He changed quite a few elements. He wrote a very cool book called The Way of Tarot, based on his deck, but it's a great resource for Tarot de Marseille. And Podolski, you know, he's amazing. He did a lot of great work to propagate and spread the love for Tarot de Marseille in the world. Without him, I think I wouldn't ever have gotten into it. And the second person who actually really got me into it is Enrique Enriquez. And I highly recommend watching the movie Tarology with Enrique. It's amazing. That's what actually broke it for me. And I thought, my jaw was on the floor and I thought, oh my god, Tarot de Marseille, that's amazing. I put the link below so you can take a look. And I wanted to show you something, like a few different cards in comparison, which you can see. So, you know, everyone says that Death card is a nameless card. So take a look at the oldest Noblet reproduction of the Death card. There's a name on it, so it wasn't nameless. Also, the skeleton goes in another direction. So this is the next one. Where am I? As you can see, then in 50 years later, in Doodle, Death loses the name, like the skeleton cuts it out, and it changes direction and goes to the future. This death kind of looks towards the past. And this is the Podolski version, so it's like Doodle, also no name. Then the magician, Noblet's magician, is very funny. And it has an element which is not, I haven't seen in any other reproduction of magician. Take a look. So this is Noblet's magician. What is he holding in the hand? That is pure potential for life. Doodle, it changes into a wand, and Podolski, so it's quite similar. Then take a look at the hangman. So Doodle's hangman, there's just this funny face, stuck out tongue. I don't know what this looks like, his hands, or maybe his wings were growing, or yeah, it's hard to say. And then there is Podolski's Converse-based hangman. So you can see that the colors vary, but otherwise it's very similar, just no funny hands sticking out of his back. Then there is the fool. So when you see it Noblet, again, graphic, and the little creature, it's not really a dog, it's between a cat and, well, you don't really know what it is. In Doodle, the fool is not as naked, but the creature becomes maybe a bit more like a cat. And then in Podolski, it's becoming more like a dog already. There's also differences in the world card, so take a look at Noblet 1650, and you can see that's very androgynous figure. It's got boobs, but doesn't really look like a woman, hard to say. In Doodle 1701, it's again kind of has a beard, maybe even, lost the boobs, looks to the past but moves towards the future. And then similar movement, but look, it became so pretty and such a woman-like in Converse version already, and that's the Podolski's version. So it's again looks towards the past, moves towards the future, but became a pretty woman. And even more interesting is the tarot for the tower card. So look at Noblet version 1650. You have an impression that the flames are coming from the tower, not other way around. Doodle, similar thing, like when you look how the flames are shaped, like they're coming from the bottom to the top. And Podolski and other, here's different story. Here they coming already from the sun towards the tower. So what's the difference? I would think, here the responsibility is taken away from you a little bit. It's like, bam, lightning from the sky, something hits you, you have nothing to do with it, you just fall off your bloody house. Whereas here, the responsibility is put back into your hands. You can see how the tower is body color. And that can symbolize your body, that can symbolize you. And this is you who awakens to the divine flame, like you want to connect with divinity. You would like to, break through your human limitations and connect with something higher. So this is coming out of your will, in a way, and you destroy the limitations, the conditioning, the limiting beliefs which you live with. So this is much more empowering as a tower card, compared to, it's just happening to you and you have, whoops, I wash my hands off, I have nothing to do with it. So I think for today, this is going to be it. I'm going to come back to Tarot de Marseille and speak a little bit more about the history and how you can read it and how you can learn it and give you some more resources. Well, I hope you like it and you find it interesting as much as I do. And I speak to you soon. Bye.